But no, like I've seen that before. But I think Charleston is just hilarious with this.
They're both funny people who I think it's hilarious to watch them go back and forth. I felt the same way when T.S. Madison and Jess Hilarious were going back and forth. I was like, y'all are both funny. Regardless of who ends up being the victor in this beef, I'm going to be entertained. You thinking that Meg would do well outside of the U.S. is short-sighted, and you don't know black people as well as you think you do, because African Americans and the rest of the diaspora have completely different tastes, I feel like. Yeah.
In relation to what white people were
when
thinking.
you bring up shit that I said last week. I don't fucking even remember what the fuck I had for lunch.
Your whole life is revolved around talking about other people's lives.
What the fuck do you think your ass is doing on that podcast now?
This podcast is sponsored by Graffiti Tax Services. For all your tax preparation needs, you can go to graffititax.com. We're going to put the link right here. It should be somewhere. And yeah, you can head to them for during tax season. And if you have any financial or tax preparation questions, head to Graffiti Tax Services. They're our new sponsor. Thank you to Graffiti Tax Preparation Services. That's it.
All right, man. You said you had something for us. What's going on? Wake it up.
So, there was this guy I had a crush on in middle school.
You already just started this off disgustingly.
And it was like, I wasn't like super popular. He was super popular. So like we weren't on the same social circles whatsoever, which was cool. I'm scrolling through Instagram. She is trans now.
The switch up. That's what it is. The switch up.
And then like, forgive me, the amount of times my horny middle school brain like wanted to see this man, like his tool for real. And now, unfortunately, I think that she has had to resort to sex work because that's what a lot of trans women have to do. She be posting in like a thong, but she still got the meat.
Oh, for sure. Especially if she got out there.
I was like, this isn't how I wanted to see this.
Yo, that's violent. That's violent, honestly. That's violent behavior.
You know what's the crazy thing is? I still follow her because I'm like, girl, I understand the plight of the trans woman. Do what you gotta do. Like, that was mad long ago. I had a crush on the boy version of you. Like, now I'm just like a girly pop trying to support my girly pop.
But now, like, the joint is probably more like hormoned out. If you think, was they ever on the hormones? I think you showed me a picture of them. I think that was one of the things, like no hormones, right?
No, because
is that a flex in the community?
Yeah.
Came out looking like this.
No
All
moans?
I had was the attachment.
Yeah, like she already from jump had a like more feminine leaning face.
See, like when you say stuff like that, it makes me feel like that's how you feel now. Like, and then you project that onto me.
I like pretty boys.
You think that's what I am?
No.
Is that what are you lying? It feels like you're lying now.
You don't give off pretty boy energy. Like, even when I had a crush on him back at, like, he was he went shopping all the time, like hung out with all the like girls that put that shit on. Like, how could I not? Like, he came out as gay before he came out as trans.
Was he like one of the ones that wore like the big collared shirts?
She.
I'm talking about when he was a he.
Oh, okay. Oh no, because that's not the era that I was in middle school in. Okay. So, and then I was living in New York also, so we didn't do that.
I felt like that was like mostly a New York thing.
In my big collars?
Like the big, like, it'd be a button up and have like a obnoxiously big collar.
Oh, I thought you meant like the polos, the like really oversized polos with the big ass collars.
No, not that one. The ones where it's like a button up, but the collar looks obnoxiously big.
No.
That was I seen a lot of gay guys pull that off.
I don't remember that being a thing at all. But he was just, when he was a fly as hell. Probably one of the flyest dudes in the school.
I mean, it was genetic, obviously.
Obviously.
He had that shit in him. Or she had that shit in her.
She do not be putting that shit on as a girl though. She does. She don't have no dress. It is tougher dressing and being fly as a woman.
It's way more difficult.
Yeah.
Like, just think about how we get ready for the show.
As a man, all you got to do is match your shirt to your shoes. You done. You put that shit on. Us, we have textures, shapes, proportions and all of that stuff to take into consideration when it comes to putting together an outfit. If you know how to put together an outfit.
Well, clearly you're transphobic because you didn't give her no tips.
Tips?
Yeah.
She not sucking my dick.
Yeah, but you could have been like, hey, girl, maybe
she don't have a link.
You should try the Fendi 6. That's good for your shade.
She is selling her body on the streets.
You don't think she wants a good shade?
Why? Fendi?
Fenty?
Fenty. Okay. I thought you were referring to some luxury retail item.
Oh, no. I meant like the...
Nah, she know how to do her makeup.
Okay.
It's the clothes that are questionable, but that might be because she's a woman of the night.
They didn't... Oh, well, I was going to say they maybe wasn't thinking about somewhere with her proportions.
No, she's tiny.
Oh, I mean, male tiny and female tiny is still different.
Male tiny. She might be like 2 sizes bigger than me right now. Like, not big, but yeah, crazy.
Are you tired of paying a lot of money for your vacation? My name is Shirley Proctor, and I am a partner with Tavodian, a traveling membership group. I can help you save time, money, help you and your loved ones see the world.
All right, you're now listening to Talk FNF TV. I'm your host, Reddick, and I'm with my lovely and amazing and beautiful and magnificent co-host, Miss Reality.
Hi, guys.
We are back at it in full effect. Had a good week, man. A lot of good stuff that's been going on. A lot of positivity. I want to give a lot of support to everybody who showed love to us this week. Sent us some good and positive messages. You really reinvigorated the squad.
It's been going in a positive direction. We're only moving like up. We're only getting better. It's kind of like scary and it makes me nervous and but it's like a really good feeling at the same time. So we appreciate you guys very much.
No, for sure. We would not be nothing without you guys. Most definitely. All right, man, we got to get into
Shout out to Hinge. That's what we meant.
They need to give us a sponsorship.
They do.
We earned it. All right, so let's get into some things, man. We got to kind of start with our boy Charleston White. He back at it.
That's your boy.
That's really my guy. I don't really like everything he stands for, like in its totality. It's probably
because he be talking about beating bitches.
A lot of stuff that honestly, it's a lot of it that I just don't really vibe with internally. But just as a character, the man got it figured out. Like he just understands this content space in a way that either he doesn't have shame, so it doesn't really affect him, or he just doesn't really care about the blowback. Because I couldn't imagine Charleston White being my dad.
He has children?
Yeah. Remember when with the Gilly video we talked about him with?
Oh, yeah. He
was like, I could talk to my son. So, I mean, like, what?
I feel like if I were a character of that nature, I would probably let my kids know that there's a difference between the person that you see online and the person who was your father.
But that shit.
I play a character.
At the end of the day, it's not going to matter, though. Because they're going to see that's what's going to be being popular and that's what's going to get your name in the algorithm is the BS. So trying to be like, oh, well, that's just who I am on the internet that ain't gonna fly.
So what has he been up to now? What is Charleston White doing?
So right now he has a beef with Rick Ross's baby mama, Teanna, or Tia Kemp or Champ.
Oh yeah,
what's her name? Champ?
Tia Kemp.
Kemp. Yo, so Tia Kemp. So him and her have been beefing. Yeah, the teeth lady, the veneer lady. So this man been going at her. He got shirts for sale. Talking about wanted, better baby mama, a bitter baby mama, teeth and all. So he kind of went off what you was just saying.
It would have been a better picture if she had her teeth showing. Her mouth is fully closed in that picture. So like you niggas think you be eating, but you don't be eating at all. Like,
all right, so I'm gonna play a little clip from what's been going on.
Hey, Charleston White. The way I'm finna line your bullwinkle cockeyed ass up, dog, on YouTube, you gonna wish you ain't mentioned my motherfucking name, fuck boy. Listen here, bitch nigga. I said what the fuck I said,
I like
and
the
I'm
way she
calling
cursed a lot.
a spade, just like your bitch ass do, pussy. Let me tell you something, bitch. The way I'm finna get you together on YouTube, oh man, I've been waiting on this. Cause you turned down that motherfucking goddamn seat on the podcast, fuck boy. Why you ain't come see the aunties on the podcast, nigga? We had you out there. You backed out. Bitch, I know you ain't talking about your auntie. Hey, man, y'all better go subscribe to my YouTube now. Because when I come back, it's on YouTube, fuck boy. I'm finna give you the business. You done met your
She don't give a fuck about what this nigga think for real. She's using this to get more subscribers. This is just a clout thing. She's just getting Charleston white fans to come to her side.
Can we just like really kind of do an analysis on this a little bit?
She said YouTube at least 5 times.
She's literally taking his shtick.
Yeah.
Do you not understand? See how she's talking into the camera?
Yeah.
Her inflection? She's really trying to be the female Charleston White with this.
I don't think that. Like, I think they're probably just from certain areas where black people have that inflection, because that's not a Charleston White
No, I'm not saying that
thing.
No,
that's just a black people thing. So that's not something you can get off. I don't think that's a thing at all.
His is more directly for him. So hold on. I think this was a video that started it off right here.
Say this. Any black woman that got a baby by a black man that'll get online every day and go after your kid's father, you have to remember the things that you say about your children's father or your children's mother. You picked them. You laid down with that person. So as you talk about your children's mother and your father, you're actually talking about your children because they have the same chromosomes.
Okay, hold on. In this video, he has a bump on his like chin.
He probably got fucked up.
Do you got the herp?
Oh, a small bump. I thought you meant a big bump.
I don't know. It's on this other video too.
He probably got the herp. He's fucking with Brittany Renner. She
this
done
is all
fucked
alleged.
everything.
Don't be trying to Tasha K us.
Everyone in the industry has herpes anyways. It wouldn't be surprising if he did have the herp a little bit.
All right, so hold on. This is his response to that last video we played with her.
I'm not fit to argue and go back and forth with no bitch with porcelain tarted teeth.
Okay.
Man, that hoe got them. Bitch, come on, hoe. Take them veneers out your mouth and do that tongue like you do. That shit up. Bitch, you look like you a snake hoe. That's why your tongue whistle like a lizard, bitch. I'm not gonna
be able to keep this.
You, bitch. I done said what I done said.
Because he got music in the background.
When granddaddy say something, he don't argue with me.
Charleston.
Bitch,
hey, you a bitch ass nigga, Charleston. That was smart.
Nah, he was probably just playing music. I don't think he's.
You don't think he was that intelligent?
No, I don't.
So, man, basically, these two kind of coming out. We can kind of get into the gist of what they talking about, and then we can kind of talk about them as personalities. But what do you feel like that? Do you feel like she's kind of overdoing it when she's talking about Rick Ross, Tia?
No, because Tia, we barely, like, she did the like XXL magazine covers and stuff like that mad long ago. But as far as like my generation, people knowing who she is, we have not known who she is until just now. And her son is on his way to college. So she didn't publicly start talking shit about this man.
Yeah, until he was grown.
Until her kid was of college age. So I think it's completely fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
they only have one child together and he's on his way to college.
And I think also too, what really started everything with her, with this particular
the photo
incident.
shoot with 50 Cent?
No, I'm talking about recently. Like what recently worked it up, because I guess Rick Ross was celebrating he didn't have to pay child support anymore.
Yeah, he celebrated that he paid his last payment of child support, and she was like,
she took offense to it.
He's going to high school. I mean, he's going to college. Like, I could extend that shit if I want to, but I'm making money now. So I'm not going to do that because nobody needs your shit anymore and nobody thinking about you. But I think it's weird to celebrate the fact that you're not on child support for one child anymore when you have 11 other kids.
Well, no, it could be. I'm glad I ain't got to give you money no more. You know what I'm saying?
But she done already flipped. Like, I know Rick Ross is mad. She was low key irrelevant the whole time she had your child.
Because that wasn't a baby mama with 50, right?
No, that was, yes.
Oh, Tia? Okay.
She's the one that did the photo shoot with 50.
But she took the little son with her too when she did that. Because the son was in some of the videos.
I don't know. But like, I know Rick Ross is mad because basically the whole time that she's been your baby mama, we haven't known about her. And right at the end where like you can stop paying child support is when she gets super popping on social media And that wouldn't have happened probably if she wasn't your baby mom. Like, that's still...
To be fair, that's the business model, though. Most women will keep it low-key until the kid in the last few years of high school. And
who else has done that?
I'm trying to think. There was some other women who've been...
I need you to give me a list of examples because I
mean,
haven't
we
seen
could go back
any
with
of
Shaq.
that happen.
We can go with Shaq right now. Shaq's last daughter with Shawty just turned 18. And what did she say on her...
Shawnee O'Neal, who has been producing Basketball Wives and
but
telling her business.
On him. She hadn't been shitting on Shaq. A little bit. She did say he was cheating, but that wasn't shitting on Shaq. You know, niggas know Shaq was.
That's not a good example because she has been in the public eye and popular without doing that because she was a producer and like starter of Basketball Wives from like a decade and a half ago.
I feel like a better response
have to do that.
I feel like a better response would be like she made a whole career on doing that because she literally made Basketball Wives.
She made So that's what I'm saying. What do you mean a better?
I don't feel like a better request of that. You were saying that like, oh, she wasn't talking about him, but she kind of was.
She wasn't talking about him. She had Basketball Wives, and you know, there's mad players who'd be like, oh, you can't explicitly talk about me on the show.
Dwight Howard.
And then after they turned 18 and stuff, like, didn't nobody give a fuck about? Like, we already knew Shawnee on her own enough to be like, yeah, that's a personality. That's somebody I know. So she didn't have to. I'm just thinking
about regular niggas then, because I know this happened with a lot of niggas that I know, where it's like
regular niggas don't count.
Older niggas like where they had their baby mamas and everything was cool.
Count.
They always seemed like it was cool. Like you'd be like, oh, okay, this nigga ain't really got no beef. Then the nigga start turning like 15. He started saying fuck you on like public areas and shit like that. You like, whoa, what's going on here? This like the type of nigga this ain't what you portrayed to us, big dog. But no, like I've seen that before. But I think Charleston is just hilarious with this.
They're both funny people who I think it's hilarious to watch them but go back and forth. I felt the same way when T.S. Madison and Jess Hilarious were going back and forth. I was like, y'all are both funny. Regardless of who ends up being the victor in this beef, I'm going to be entertained. And that's how I feel about this.
See, I feel like this one's a little more even than the Jess.
It's very even.
Because I feel like really Jess couldn't really get into her bag with that T.S. Madison shit because of the Breakfast Club over her head. She couldn't really like disrespect this individual. That was last year.
That was much before Breakfast Club.
No, well, the most recent tip
much
they had.
before Breakfast. Yeah.
The most recent tip they had.
I mean from jump. Mm-hmm. Like the beginning of like the way T.S. Madison read that bitch when she was still doing the Queen's Court with Kaya.
Okay. Because when
they both and Kaya too reading her like that shit was crazy.
So the big back incident,
I would have killed myself.
I just want to say the big back incident they had, that wasn't their first time having.
No, that wasn't the first. That was the second time or the third time that they had went back and forth.
Okay, because I remember her saying about the trans shit because we talked about that where she dissed the trans girls. But was she talking about TS when she said that, or was she just
when she dissed the trans girls? TS came back and said something, and then they had a back and forth.
So that was the first time they ever.
That was the first time, and then they had another back and forth.
Okay.
So it's been more than once.
See, I wasn't familiar with their actual history, but.
And then Don't Call Me White Girl, Damona, she had T.S. Madison and Jess Hilarious on her podcast at different times.
Messy. But I feel like with these two though, this is like the perfect back and forth. Like this is like watching Kobe and Tracy McGrady play against each other.
This is really good. That's why I don't want you to say that Tia is like taking his sauce and stuff like that, because I think it's a sauce of like a specific type of funny black person. Mm-hmm. And I've met a bunch of people who come off like both of them. So I don't want you to compare like she's taking it from him or anything like that. I think they're both fucking hilarious. And I think they can both like roast the fuck out of each other.
They like the aunt and uncle that always come to family reunions, but they not married anymore.
Yes, but they still be secretly fucking.
And be talking shit about each other in front of everybody.
Yes.
That's exactly what it feels like with
That's
them two.
That energy, yeah.
It's crazy.
No, but Rick Ross and Tia give me that energy. Before Charleston came into this, I was like, yo, he might still be fucking her. He might have been fucking her for way longer than we know, which is why they both are still so passionate about their hate for each other, because that boy is 18. Like, even if y'all stopped fucking like 12 years ago, why do y'all still have feelings that are that strong?
It's not about feelings, because the one thing about it is y'all go get more feelings. When you have access to kind of like a certain degree of influence like he does, you always going to be able to hit your baby mama. Like, it's never going to not be able to smash it. Once you gotta get that influence, it's gonna happen. Oh shit.
Bleep that out. Because we doing something where you'll get to a certain level of influence.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I probably burnt those bridges to a degree that we don't have to worry about.
No, I don't think you have. I think them bridges are still afloat because them bitches are not happy in their romantic lives.
Oh my God.
So many bleeps. You gotta bleeps. You just gotta cut this out.
What if I forgot?
Oh my God, please don't.
Oh my goodness. All right, well, let's stay into the marriage realm then. Iman, Shumpert, and Teanna have officially got their divorce settlement. According to all the urban blogs, he's had to pay her basically like a settlement for the actual case, and he's also have $8,000 in child support. Everybody keeps going.
And he was trying to get spousal support.
Yeah, that's why I'm feeling like, how did this happen? Where you have to pay for essentially the case, the proceedings, and you gotta
maybe it's because your frivolous countersuits made it take longer, and then you were working more consistently and you were under a contract, so I feel like he probably made more money.
That's what I was thinking.
More money than her.
That's where I was kind of confused.
Her money is kind of like more spotty. It's based off of like album sales, endorsements, like stuff.
It's way more money in sports than it is than entertainment,
and it's more consistent.
Because he, from what I read, he got to keep his compounds in Georgia, like his sports compounds. So there, you can already rent those out. That's money going to be coming in, money, training. The fact that you were a fairly successful NBA player, so you do have rapport there.
And popular.
Yeah, I mean, he was more popular afterwards than he was when he was playing. But he was also with the Knicks, too. So that also helped his. He played with the Knicks and LeBron. So those two things are going to kind of help your profile, especially when you talk the way he does. He literally
go to the Knicks when you're about to finish your.
But his podcast has been not anything. Like I haven't seen clips from it.
Not a single one.
That's why I think it's weird to know where it's coming from in regards to like the finances. He like behind the scenes now with LeBron and Uninterrupted. Like I want to know because it looks like nigga you got the money. So why are you trying to get her money? Why would you try to take it?
I don't know. I can't even speculate. Maybe out of pettiness. That's the only thing I could speculate about. Because you remember mad long ago when that TikToker came out and she loosely made it seem like Teanna was in the hospital because she did too many drugs because he was cheating on her. Like, I wonder if they've been having like troubles for a very long time, and then I don't know.
I mean, you gotta have to have quote unquote troubles. Like you don't as a woman get. I don't care what you fall in regards to your finances. You don't get with a nigga with that higher profile and expect him to just be about you. Especially when you met him on his.
But we know for a fact that their sexual relationship did not like end with just them two. Oh, they regularly talked about how many threesomes they had, like how many women Teanna was willing to bring into the relationship because she was into women also.
Well, like, but you also know that those like that doesn't just stop there. Like you can't think that it's going to stop. He's going to hit her up. He's going to still try to talk to her. Like that stuff happens.
And then you niggas, like if that's the case and your woman is actually like willing to have threesomes and then you go outside of the parameters of the very like specific boundaries that have been set, you deserve to die. She should kill you. Yeah, she should line you up fully. But because what the fuck, nigga? Are you dumb? I literally like decided to have threesomes with you regularly because this is something I want to do. We set parameters. We talked about it and everything. And then you want to hit this bitch up outside. You can have your cake and eat it too, but you want fucking eclairs and ice cream with the cake? Bitch, I'm going to set you up and you're going to die.
I mean, to be honest, when I first seen that they were actually
very simply put,
when I saw that they were a thing, I knew this was kind of like the spectacle. This was what's going to happen because you can't be with a woman as high profile as her and feel like you the man. I'm sorry, you're not Jay-Z. Like
she was famous before he was.
Yeah, she was 16 in Super Sweet 16.
Yeah, like she was famous before then. She got Super Sweet 16 because she was already fucking signed.
And there's no way that anything. She hasn't even been conditioned and wired to be a woman to know how to treat you like the way you going to be treated. All she knows is how to be super obsessive with you.
First of all, she already from New York.
Yeah, that's already full of agency and independence right there.
That's already full of nigga. Hurry up, cause I don't have no time, and I don't have no time for your bullshit either. So it's already wired with that. And then she got money, and then she been popping since she was 16.
There's like years of things to reinforce how she feels about herself.
And then she was signed to Pharrell immediately when she came out. Like one of the
when she was on the Sweet
niggas.
16, she was.
Yeah, she was already signed to Pharrell. So like, there's nothing that you can tell this woman. She's been affirmed by her parents, because I have met them and they're amazing people. She's been affirmed by her parents first, then her label second, then her getting signed, and then all of, like, she's been nothing but hyped up her entire life. You can't just come in and start cheating on the bitch. Like,
yeah, the ego that's on her just wouldn't allow for you to be able to operate in that kind of manner.
No, not at all.
So like, that's why I just knew from the jump, like, when everybody's like, oh my God, they're such a beautiful, I said, this nigga setting himself up for failure. It just really are. I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm gonna help you. You rich niggas need to just call me. I have $1,000.
Give him your money.
$1,000 an hour, and I'll coach you niggas on how to act P. Cause y'all niggas don't know how. It's just clearly evident. Y'all
and then
don't.
when they ask you, what is your experience and why should I trust you?
Why you should trust me?
Why they should trust you?
Cause man, this joint, when we turn the cameras off, mum's the word.
He lying to y'all.
Oh,
that
man.
was a lie. Also, I've heard mum's the word at least 7 times in the past like couple days, and I feel like I loosely get like the context of what that means.
It just means you're not saying nothing.
Oh,
when you make mum, your mouth is closed.
Okay, I didn't get that with that man at all. Okay, what's next?
All right, let's get into a little bit of seriousness so we can get this out the way.
Mm-hmm.
Not to rush it, because it is tragic. But Mr. Folio has passed away.
Is it tragic?
I was going to get into that in just a moment. Just let people know what happened. So if you're not familiar with him, he's a hip-hop artist from Jacksonville, Florida. And unfortunately, he was gunned down not too long ago on his birthday.
Damn.
Yeah, it was on his birthday. Literally, he was back there at the hotel.
Oh, this was all the math you were telling me about.
Yeah. So
okay, do the math for the people.
So people will know this. There was a song that came out about a few years ago called "Who I Smoke," and that was Young and Ace and some of his partners. So Young and Ace is beefing. His team and Folio's team have been in a long-standing beef. You can check out Trap Lord Raw's video about it. He goes into great detail. I even have a partner who is like close to kind of this shit, and he was telling me a lot about it. But Folio has been talking big shit for probably good.
Had been.
Yeah,
he not talking no shit no more because that nigga dead as fuck.
Yeah, he been talking big shit at least since that video came out. He been in Atlanta for real. Like, he's been in Atlanta. He's been kind of running around trying to basically get his profile raised up in the midst of all this. And unfortunately,
not him using Atlanta for clout like Drake did.
Oh no, I mean,
colonizer.
He wasn't using it for clout. He was using it for protection.
Oh,
he couldn't go back. He died in Florida. Like, he couldn't go back there. And he didn't even die in his hometown. Niggas dying. He died in Tampa. That's like,
where's his hometown?
80 miles. He's from Jacksonville.
Oh, I don't know.
That's like 80 miles.
God damn.
It's probably a little bit less than that, but roughly 80 miles. Man. Where he just ended up getting killed way off from his home. But no, to kind of do a little bit of breakdown on it, Young and Ace's brother, whose name was 23, he got killed on his birthday about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. And it was from the people on allegedly Folio's side.
Oh.
So this was get back in a real way.
Was this on the 23rd?
So the 23rd was the next day.
Oh.
So his birthday was the 22nd.
His name was 2-3, and he got killed on 2-2.
Technically, he got killed on 2-3 because it was in the morning.
Oh.
So this is like,
not numerology. You niggas tapping into numerology now in the hood?
That's crazy. That y'all did it like
y'all
that.
need to be stopped immediately.
But to shoot the nigga on his birthday, they didn't end up releasing some of the pictures. I don't know if they're real. I hope not, because what I saw was horrible. His face looked like he took a mallet to it.
I would have never looked at those.
Well,
pictures.
I mean, it was going through the timeline. I was just scrolling. And
it's
I saw
not
it.
something that pops up on my algorithms. But you go ahead.
But no, it was crazy. Just seeing that, and it was just tragic. But like, it is tragic in that kind of standpoint. But then I kind of just asked the question, like, I started seeing people saying like, "Oh, this isn't sad," and I seen so much of a commotion around, "Oh, he basically deserved this," and they were saying it because
why
he been talking shit.
Yeah, but you can talk shit without deserving to die.
Well, when you telling niggas I'm smoking on your ops, I'm going to your grave of your dead brother, telling niggas, "Oh, we praying for 2-3," like I'm antagonizing you.
Oh yeah, that was fucked up.
The reason I didn't appreciate seeing so many people show him so much lack of empathy was because y'all didn't do this for Young Dolph. Young Dolph antagonized his ops almost to the day he died.
Who was the more talented party in the beefs in both situations? Was Young Dolph the more talented party? The party with the bigger bop that most people would recognize.
I would say no. I would say they're very
Who
much
was
in
the person that Young Dolph was
Gotti.
beef? Yo Gotti?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that Yo Gotti was the person that he was beefing
Yeah,
with.
this all stems from that kind of beef. This all stems from all of that.
And
allegedly.
then in this
this
next
one with Folio is Young and Ace.
So Young and Ace was the more popular person.
Mm-hmm. He's more popular. He was cool with Vaughn. He's cool with Dirk. He's closer to mainstream than the rest of the guys.
Okay.
So that's why. And then he also dropped a song.
So we can't say that people are on the side of the more poppin'.
Well, in this particular, people were bigger fans of Dolph than they are Folio. So because they were
because people were bigger fans of Dolph than they were of Yo Gotti. No. And then were people a bigger fan of Folio than they were of?
No.
Okay, so in both cases, the less talented party was the one that was being more respected after the death.
No. In Dolph's case, Dolph was respected after his death.
But
people were saying R.I.P. People were saying.
Did you not just? Was he the least talented party?
That don't matter in this conversation. You're not listening.
That's what I'm.
Okay, now let me listen.
Specifically asking you.
I know. Now listen what I'm about to say. Dolph was less famous than Gotti, but
I didn't say famous.
Listen, he's less relevant than Gotti. He's not a lesser tier artist than Gotti, but people like Dolph still. People didn't like Folio the same way. He's not as favorable as Dolph was.
Mm-hmm.
And so in his death, people were showing less empathy. And I'm saying they both talk shit. They both antagonize their deaths. They both.
Yeah, but people liked
that. But I'm saying that's the problem.
No, I don't think it's a problem.
Yes, it is a problem. Like, both of them niggas, if we being honest, both of them niggas deserve what they got. They was being gangsters in the street.
I don't think either of them deserve to be shot down in the fucking streets.
If I'm over here,
regardless of what they was doing, I don't think anybody deserves that.
If I'm antagonizing ops, I'm making music and disrespecting you and your family members on a continual basis. I'm telling you niggas to come get me on the internet multiple times. You're asking for that. Again, I feel bad for their families and everything involved, and I want to read what Folio's mama said. But at the end of the day, these men died the way they lived.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to be gangsters. They wanted to appease this image, regardless of the families they had, the women that they cared about, the children, and all that other stuff. They wanted to appease this image, and they got what came with that. The nigga Folio had tweeted like years ago, "Nigga, I'm either going to end up dead or in jail. That's my future."
Well, yeah, that's how most of them niggas end up. That's not.
I'm just saying, like, when you're in this predicament,
new. It's not like it's not like he predicted something that was outside of the realm of the possibilities for him. Like, all the niggas that he knew either ended up dead or in jail. So he was just like, that's not nothing to point out for. I don't think.
No, it's not.
He just knew that his lifestyle ended up in one of two ways.
But the problem is,
regardless of how popular you are, it ends up in one of those two ways.
And what I'm saying is, he got the death he wanted. That was the death that both of I'm pretty sure if you was to ask these men with truth serum in their body, what is the kind of death they want, they would want it to be like this.
Mm-hmm.
And infamous death,
I
dying
forgot
in
what
gunfire.
The main point that you were trying to make in the first place was
that I didn't. Well, I was trying to discuss that how I thought it was weird that people didn't like Dolph. Didn't like Folio, but were cool with Dolph, even though they did the same thing. And my point was going to be that these men died the way they lived.
Yeah, my point is Dolph had a bigger bop than Folio. People don't give a fuck about Folio because I don't know who he is. I didn't know who he was until he died.
Yeah, I mean,
why would I care or empathize with a nigga that I did not even know that was doing hood shit? That this is one of the things that he knew was gonna happen to him in the first goddamn place. I don't care. But young Dolph, born in the 80s, crack babe, like you hear him on a regular basis. So it's going to impact you more. That's literally it. And that's why I was asking you about the impact of one's music versus the other. Because people are going to give a fuck more about you if you made a bop that like hits them.
And I'm
What's
trying
the
to
other
say,
one's name?
Folio.
Young Folio. Yes, I forgot his name during this argument because I know who Young Dolph is, but I have no idea who Folio is, and I did not know who he was until 17 of his baby mamas came out and said, "Ooh, my baby is gone" after he died. Like, nigga, nobody gives a fuck about. I'm sorry, this sounds mean. Less people give a fuck about you dying because less people gave a fuck about you. Period. That's it.
Well, let's listen to what his mother had to say. And apparently, I don't know if this is a picture for real of her, but they put a picture of him next to a black woman that's a doctor, and I think they're trying to say that's his mom.
I don't think that's his mom.
It is, because I mean, what's the same picture that's in the profile right here?
Oh wow. Oh yeah, that's his. How you have a doctor? His dad probably died when he was like 3.
I think I don't want to say for 100% sure, but I think he spoke about that.
Yeah, there's no way he has an active father figure in his life.
So this is what his mom says.
You died.
Rest in peace, Charles Jones II, Folio. The real life story documentary coming soon. I felt like that was nasty. Don't tell me you're about to sell my story after I die. Because that's gross.
She said, I raised this hood rat that I had by this hood rat ass nigga in the first place. I might as well benefit off of it. I'm being such a terrible person right now.
She also says this, the story that only I can tell because I know the truths. She put the truths with an S.
Okay, this is why, like, are we sure that she has a nursing or doctoral degree of any sort?
Well, you don't got to be great at literature to be in the medical field. You just got to be good enough.
You have to have a good brain.
You got to be good enough.
That remembers things.
She said she said, I know the truths from the fakes. I think I'm the only mother that kept it real. While most others know damn well what's going on with their own sons, them not knowing I stayed on you about this beef.
I'm having a stroke right now trying to understand.
Begged you to take stuff down.
I think it's the way you read stuff. Like you put
there's no periods and inflections and shit here, so I'm reading it with the commas.
I do want to see it really quickly though.
I'm just reading it with the commas.
I just want to see it really quickly, and then I want to read y'all this like a normal person. R.I.P. son, Charles Jones II, Folio, the real life story documentary coming soon. The story that I can only tell because I know the truths from the fakes. I think I'm the only mother that kept it real, while most others know damn well what's going on with their own sons. Them not knowing I stayed on you about this beef shit, cussed you out, begged you to take stuff down. Okay, now I understand. When I read it, she's saying that like I tried to get you to stop doing this stuff.
I don't believe that.
I knew that you were doing this shit. I'm one of the only mothers that kept it real. And I knew exactly what was happening with you. And I begged you to stop this shit. And you didn't. Like, whether you believe it or not, I understand it better now.
I don't believe her. I don't believe her. To me, I feel like this.
I'm on the same page as you.
If you ever took any dollar from him, then you enabled it. If he paid any bill, any rent, paid for any homes.
What were you doing? Like, I just feel like if you were a nurse in a hospital of any sort and you didn't have a father in the home, then you had no idea what that boy was doing, because someone who had a nurse mom herself, like nurses work very long hours. They be working like 12-hour shifts at a time. If you're gone most of the day, like a chunk of the day, they know exactly when to act up. I knew exactly when I could act up. So it's just like, ooh.
No, it's rough. It's rough.
Yeah.
And then Young and Ace dropped a song, like right after, talking about, and in the song it says, when I tell my hitters go, they go. Nigga basically rapped about calling a murder on this nigga. and dropped it the next day. Like the next day after he died, I think he dropped the song. This is from what I saw. This song could have been old. I saw a song drop before he died. They announce he dies, and then he drops another song. And I'm sitting there like, oh, these niggas had the setup. These niggas was ready.
Yeah.
Caught that nigga slipping all the way. But he was being green too. Like if you look at his last videos, but he was being green too. So like if you look at like his last videos, he was giving up his location. He was telling everybody he was gonna be at, being with a whole bunch of people he probably didn't know. It was nasty work.
Yeah, that's crazy.
No, he definitely set himself up for that, man. It's awful.
What's next, baby?
All right, so the double X, I got it right here. The double X freshman class for 2024 has been released. So
yep.
I'm actually familiar with some of these people, so I will name them off. I think it's very telling that Lay Banks is the first name on there.
Why?
Because I think she's a big time industry plant, and I think they're trying to push her way more than probably a lot of these other people are.
She's not an industry plant. That bitch still living in Queens with her parents.
You can still be an industry plant with living in Queens with your parents. So I'm not sure who this is. Maya the Don. Are you familiar with her?
Yeah, she had that one song that went viral a while ago. She's from New York. She's the
she got a song with Lizzo.
Let me see that thong. She sampled that. She's a light skinned black girl. She fat. Yeah.
She said she fat.
She fat, but she look good as fuck. Maya, you fat and you sexy as fuck. Period.
All right,
and
so
you know that.
I'm gonna just run through this real quick. So we got Big X the Plug, Honcho, Skrilla Baby, Cash
Honcho is the nigga that Keisha Cole is fucking, right?
Well, yeah, he was hitting it.
No, she's
still on him?
She posted his whole birthday party on her page like 2 days ago.
That nigga like 24. That's a young nigga too.
Yeah, and then Skrilla Baby.
You know, okay, hold on. Let me stay on this real quick. About Honcho. You know who I thought he was when I first saw him? I thought he was sexy. He was Sexy Red's baby daddy.
They posted a couple videos together and stuff.
Especially when she was pregnant.
Yeah.
That's why I thought that's who he was. But I've never heard any of his music.
If you followed her a little bit closer, then you would know that whole time that we knew that her baby daddy was like in jail.
No, I knew that, but I just thought I'm seeing this nigga next to her. He looked like she put him in the super jail fresh out of jail package.
Yeah, but whole time he was with Keisha Cole.
He the only young nigga that hit the older women right, because he was out there doing the dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who else is on here. Skrilla Baby, Cash Cobain. That was the nigga I told you about. The one who wrote for Drake.
Got an attitude, but she made a shoe, so I got a shoe. First of all, really quick, Cash Cobain, his girlfriend, her name is Marnie. Marnie is one of those girls that, like, as a girl, you want to be her, and as a man, you want to fuck her. Like, she gives off this, like, cool ass energy. She has piercings all over, but they're aesthetically placed so that, like, her beauty isn't taken away by, like, the shit ton of tattoos that she has. And he's like a fat, dark-skinned nigga, and she's like a slim, like, she's like a medium. I fucking love them. I'm obsessed with you, Marnie. I genuinely am. She has gauges. She has a nose. It's like, she's so cool. I love that bitch. I'm in love with Marnie. And he just dropped a new song, and the whole hook is about her.
She sound like, you know, when the niggas on the conservative side be describing like their nightmare fuel of like activists, where they're like, oh, the purple hair, tattooed feminist. That's what you were describing.
Yeah, except I fully support what she looks like, and I love girls that look like her. Like, I want to be you, bitch. I wish I was brave enough to get
we're talking about the freshman.
my nose.
She ain't even on here.
Like, yeah, but that's the people who follow Cash are obsessed with Marnie. I'm telling you this.
What happened to you niggas, yo? Y'all niggas used to be able to get his shit off y'all own merit. Now y'all gotta call the women every time. Like, y'all gotta have girlfriends.
You have to see her, bro.
I'm not saying that, dog. you be missing the whole point.
Marnie does not look like any
but you
regular
always
girl.
miss the point of my conversation. It has nothing to do about her being a girl. It's about the fact that these niggas need
know.
bitches so bad for them to get attention.
It's just a bad couple for you to get that argument on, because she's just the shit.
Well, it's because a lot of these niggas really don't have like talent for real. Like, The talent is everybody around them. They just the front facing of the product.
I don't think that I should talk about Barney.
I'm just saying, like, it just seemed like everything around them.
Marnie. Like, and that song is dope as fuck too. Like, I feel like you make him flyer. I genuinely do. I feel like his music is good because of you.
See what I'm telling you?
Like, that sauce, like that, and she just got signed too.
Again, like I said, this is what's wrong. Y'all devalue your own brand. But let's get into more of the people. So the Mexican OT, I've heard him before. We played him on the show before.
Continue.
We played him on the show before.
Mm-hmm.
Rich Amiri, not too familiar with him.
Let me pull up this list.
Is Rich Amiri? I think Rich Amiri. No, this is who it is. Boss Man D-Lo. That's the dude who got the song about being on the 50th floor, eating hibachi. You have heard that song. We talked about it. I'm on the 50th floor, eating hibachi. That song. 4 Bats and then Scarlett. I didn't think that Scarlett probably should have been on here.
She had like one song.
She ain't done nothing else since then though.
There was another song that she put out. She put out some visuals that were really good. I think with Busta Rhymes backing and all that stuff that she's been getting lately, then she might turn out to be a rapper who we need to look at. I think because she's dark skinned and she's not conventionally attractive, that she might just fall within the wayside. So I don't know, but I do like her and I have followed her. So I'm glad that she's on this list, and she's from the Bronx. Her story is rough as fuck. So I'm usually rooting for people like her, definitely.
And then do you know who 4 Bats is? The nigga that everybody been talking about?
Nope.
What do you pay attention to?
The girlies. Fuck y'all niggas, honestly. Y'all don't interest me one bit. Y'all are boring as fuck.
But, I mean, all the girls on here are pretty mid, though.
Because you're not a girl. Continue.
No, they are. Or what they're done now, that's the list. The list is done. That's why I'm talking about the people on the list.
All the girls on the list, Maya and Scar, and then how many?
There's 3 girls. They all mid.
Lay. I know all of them versus all of the guys on this list. So you might think they're mid, but they're not.
No, I've listened to
2 out of 3 of them. You might think they're mid, but they're not. Lay is definitely not making music for. She's making music for like 20-year-old girls. She's definitely not making music for me or you. I just happen to appreciate what she's doing. Maya, I think she's very talented, but she's put out like 2 singles. I'm surprised she's on this list. That's what would surprise me about her being on this list is she hasn't put out a full project yet. So I don't know why they would put her on this.
Because they needed probably a woman quota.
Scar, I feel the same way about Scar. Like, she has had like a single or 2, but she also hasn't had any projects. But these are some of the only people on this list whose careers I'm actually following. These men, I don't know if they've put out projects and this and that or anything of that nature yet. But I know like these women, like this is a freshman list. Obviously, this is a up-and-comers list. So it's probably fine that they haven't dropped their first projects yet. Lay hasn't dropped her first project yet. But I know that's going to be, she's one of those rap girls that will very easily transition into pop because her music is more poppy than it is rap. I don't think Lay should be on a XXL rap freshman list because of how much pop she does. Maya hasn't put out an album yet. Like if you want to make an argument for them not being on the list, then that would be it. Maya hasn't put out a full album yet. But then also I can't say that any of these other niggas have put out a full album or anything. I don't know any of these niggas. Boss Man D-Lo, Mexican the OT. Like I've seen the Mexican OT doing like freestyles and shit.
He's probably the biggest one on the list.
Because they compare him to Paul Wall very, very, very often. They're like, oh, this is the Paul Wall of our new generation. Big X, the plug. Like, I haven't seen any of these niggas. Like, I don't know any of them. And then Southside, is he on the list? Producer for 2024.
It says Beats by.
Yeah, it says producer for the 2024 XXL freshman. Okay.
You know, do the freestyle.
Because I was about to say, not Southside, who's been in this shit for mad long. But yeah, and then who is this girl? Over here, down here.
That's Lay.
Oh, she looks so different. Girl, you need to get the same makeup artist. Girl, what the fuck? Why do you look like that?
I think that you can listen to somebody's music, even though it's not for you. You can listen to somebody's music and say it's just still not good. Like I can listen to what she's the product.
You can't because music is subjective.
Yeah, that's why I can make the subject and say it's not good.
You can't say it's not good.
Yes, I can.
It's not good to you.
Okay,
because
so
it's
not
subjective.
Good. So I can say it's not good then.
Like, what the fuck?
What are you talking about? You can say,
can
just like you
your
can listen to
opinion.
something and say it's not good.
You can state your opinion, but it's
Okay.
not going to be a fact. And
Who
I
said-
need
who-
you to say that.
Who did I say that was a fact to? I said it's not good. That means it's my opinion that it's not good.
No, you can say that like it's no. You can say your opinion.
And I said it's not good.
Okay, and your opinion is horrible. Garbage fucking takes.
You don't even know most of the people on here. So how can you say anything that's garbage? You don't know who's on here.
Okay.
But I will say Mexican OT is probably the biggest dude on here.
He is. He's the person that I've seen the most on TikTok. I've seen his freestyles over and over again. I see him get compared to Paul Wall very often. Like, he's like the new, like, non-black rap nigga.
I like some of his music he did with the baby because I felt like he was about to bring him back.
Okay, so Meg Thee Stallion has canceled the European leg of her tour. I don't know if you guys saw, but when she had initially announced her tour and the tickets went on sale and everything, all the Meg haters were like, oh, she's not selling out this tour. You know, like the tickets aren't selling. They went on sale, or they were being sold at a discount as a result of her tickets not selling that much. And then her European, like the whole, I thought it was just like part of it, but the entire European leg of the tour was canceled. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit and ask you like why you think that is the case. And I don't know, like, why do you think Meg's, like, the whole European tour was canceled, and what do you think the consequences of this for her career are moving forward, since they probably spent a good amount of money on this already, right? Even though she hadn't got there yet.
I think to kind of have a full discussion, you kind of have to get into the entire tour on this. Because remember when I first talked about this, I said, yo, that's a big deal that they're doing arena tours for her as an artist. Like, that means there's people around you that expect a lot. And academics, for his reasons, he's been following this since the beginning, talking about the sales and things of that nature. There was
because he's a hating ass bitch.
I mean, there was talks that she had to change the price of a lot of her tickets. So that affects her bottom line.
Yeah.
That it don't affect nobody else but the artist. The artist is the only person who's taking less in the situation.
Yeah, because everyone gets paid beforehand.
So she ends up losing money in regards to that. The facts that it just seems like maybe from a global perspective, she may not be that big. She may not be that interesting. Like, we may be seeing a real cap on what black women can do outside of the country.
And I think that's a realistic cap.
Because if she's still with Glorilla, it's not like she got with what's the shawty's name? What's a white girl she could probably get with? Maybe that's the same.
It's not like she's on tour like with like Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah, her.
I'm working late. Like
she
that's
would
kind
kill
of my
Europe.
shit.
She would kill Europe.
But damn, I forgot my point. Continue what you were saying.
Well, I will say the blowback is going to be this: is we're probably going to either see her having to owe a lot of money.
Yes. Okay. So the appeal of like very specific black women who only serve like a African American aesthetic, right? Like Megan, like Cardi, like Glorilla. Like, I don't think realistically that any of the higher ups should have thought that she would have made it out of the U.S. market. I think that y'all don't have a good grasp on blackness, on people of African descent, if you don't agree with being called black. I feel like you outside of the U.S., black people like completely different things.
Okay, I was trying to say, where are you getting at with that?
Yeah. So you thinking that Meg would do well outside of the U.S. is short-sighted, and you don't know black people as well as you think you do, because African Americans and the rest of the diaspora have completely different tastes, I feel like. And Meg is not an artist that I think would do well outside of the U.S. with the sexuality of her songs, and like there are so many other countries of black descent, of African descent, where morality is way more apparent in the culture than the United States is. I know as somebody from Haiti that like our problem as Caribbean people with y'all as African Americans is we feel like y'all are not classy enough. It's respectability politics through and through. But like when you have somebody like Megan Thee Stallion trying to make it outside of the US market, then you have to take that into consideration. And women in Jamaica aren't going to like her because she's shaking her ass. Women in Haiti aren't going to like her because she doesn't come off as Catholic. Like, there's so many things that you have to take into consideration. So it's not just like what you do well outside. Like, black women outside of the African American market, how do they consume things? And people don't give a fuck about that for real. And that's why she failed.
I think there also just shows like, there's a lot of people in the business. Like I said, she's with Jay-Z and shit like right now. There's a lot of people in this business who still feel the old way of thinking. Meaning like if you're a success in America, you're going to be a success around the globe. That used to be a common, thought process. Like, hey, I'm going to get my artists in America. Once they get popular in America, because we're the hub of entertainment, everybody else is going to accept it. I just think we're just kind of seeing like it doesn't work the same way with black women. Even in reverse.
Nothing does.
No, in reverse it does. There's the women basketball players. They make way more money overseas than they do at home.
Okay.
When they do a sport. But it seems
that's
like
not something I would know about, guys.
But if you think about it, it's when women hold themselves, they make more here in the States than they will in other countries.
When women
hold themselves. I just used an aggressive term for it.
Okay. What does that mean?
Over-sexualize themselves, objectify themselves.
Okay.
They use their bodies as sex objects in their art.
Yes, because sexuality is more valuable in the American market than it is in other markets. If you were doing that,
it depends. And what you mean by valuable?
Depend.
Valuable in currency, yeah.
Yes,
but not valuable as.
But that's what we mean as Americans as valuable because currency is over everything.
Oh,
so, like when you go to another country and your sexiness is deemed as something that makes you a horrible whore, you're not gonna do that. But here, you're gonna sell more when you do that. So it is different.
And I would love to look at it how that is with white women too. Like, do they feel like they have to be? Because it seems like with Taylor Swift, if she was the control for this conversation, it doesn't
she is
feel
the
like
control for most of these conversations. To be fair,
because it doesn't look like anything's different from her tour on the out in America than it is on the.
Yeah,
it's not like she changes
the same
it up.
shit. No, it's the same shit. She's doing the same shit.
So that's why I mean it's just interesting.
But do you think it's because white people have lower standards for their entertainers than black people do?
I don't think they have lower standards.
There's several layers to this conversation.
I don't think it's lower standards that they have for I think there's a relatability factor that they have. Like once they really find somebody they like, they gravitate way more than we have. And plus,
do you mean black people or white people?
White people.
Okay.
And also I think she extends more because when you go to Europe, this is the tour that Megan was on. When you go to a European tour, even though Taylor Swift cleans house around the world,
white people they're gonna
all
like over
her.
the globe.
They're gonna like her. Like
yeah.
I don't see a reason for why they wouldn't, because she had that same appeal around. But
that's what I'm saying. I think Taylor Swift is a little bit more universal than Meg Thee Stallion because I think I didn't even know that the African American experience was that diverse until I left New York and moved to Georgia. And Georgia is a state of implants. So I met people from Louisiana, North Carolina, Chicago. Like I met black people from everywhere. And I finally realized that each black state has their own culture that is specific to them. So like if you don't appeal to a specific black culture, then you're not going to have the hearts of all of the black people. I feel like it is very hard for black artists to just take over generally.
I would say too it's the opposite too. And what we talked about in regards to their morality or how they subject to, like a hip hop artist in the States may have a hard time gaining traction and being able to do big shows, but they'll go to Europe. Like Waka go to Europe and it's crazy over there. But it's like I guess it's
Tyler
like,
in his.
Well, Tyler's different. I feel like
Tyler's
early. Yeah, I feel like Tyler's a little
early.
bit different. Like he doesn't fall into the argument I'm making.
You definitely right about that.
My argument is that they are okay with that image from especially black men. Like 50 Cent go crazy overseas. Like gangster rap for the most part does have an appeal over there.
Underground rap does,
especially
too.
older rap, like Jada Kids, all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
They go crazy over there.
I was gonna say like Most Def, like niggas like that go crazy overseas.
Yeah, I don't know if they do arena tour overseas, but I know for sure they got a run that they doing, and they clearing house.
Yeah, I like that for y'all. Y'all keep making that white money.
But I mean,
and I want y'all to charge them more.
It's kind of problematic though.
Is it to keep taking white people's money?
Well, to take it by being a Sambo, modern day Sambo.
Are you being a Sambo if you're making your content more palatable to white people so that you can steal their money so that you can give it to black people? Okay, I'm not saying.
Do you know that last part doesn't happen?
Okay, that's what I was about to say.
That last part has never happened in history.
The last part was definitely a stretch. But I do think that it isn't worth anything at all if you're playing that role and then just keeping the money for yourself.
I mean, that's what they all do. That's why it's never been worth anything.
So I do agree with you. Y'all niggas is garbage.
Well, hopefully, Megan, y'all can figure something out. It just also shows the lack of star power now. Like, we're never going to have these big stars anymore. I think that's really what this is overall saying.
Explain yourself.
Like, Drake and Taylor Swift are going to be the last two major global superstars. It's literally because of how these apps operate. Remember how I was talking to you about how the interfaces for each app was, and how there's some apps that it makes you follow because the like button is next to the follow button?
Yeah. Like a lot and then sometimes you I do that on TikTok all the time. I accidentally follow people that I just meant to like their pictures, or I just meant to visit their profile so I can see what's happening there. I'll come across people that I've been following for months and I've never seen their content before. I always unfollow them. I need you also to always unfollow these niggas.
And that's why you always see the font of the name kind of is slightly different, but it's smaller, but it doesn't pop and like that. So what my argument basically is, in these companies and corporations, they have a concerted effort to never make another star again. Why would we make a star when you can do the work, create a niche, and then we profit, essentially getting 30% of everything that you do on these apps if you gain a profile or a following? You
want to know something interesting? That's why the fashion houses stopped hiring models with iconic walks like Naomi Campbell and things of that, like people of that, because people were showing up to see this model walk versus seeing what this model is in. So people were showing up to see this model walk versus seeing what this model is in. And that's a very big problem in haute couture, luxury retail, things of that nature, because you want people to buy the things. You don't want the girl to be the selling point. So that's why you don't see supermodels like you used to see, because the girls have less focus than the clothes.
We're going to see more and more as history goes on, where it's like companies are going to be putting way less money behind these artists. Budgets are going to be becoming even smaller, because at the end of the day,
you saw that AI influencer that brand made up?
Talking about what was the name? Is it a newer one, or like we already discussed this before?
We haven't discussed this. She's like a racially ambiguous girl. She has a whole Instagram profile. Mad people follow her. She's a AI human. Like, she's curly hair, tan skin, big eyes. Not a human. Doesn't exist.
I've seen multiple pages like that, actually.
Yeah. And so I think that is where we're leaning towards, is just like people making influencers that look exactly what women want to look like, that look exactly what men want to fuck. Because that's the sweet spot in the middle, right? You have to have women who want to be like her, and then you have to want men to want to pamper her and give her everything. And then that's like an untouchable woman. So they're getting closer. I don't like that shit. I don't want to think that I like a girl's style and her personality and then realize that she's a fucking robot. What?
That's all that's going to happen. That's going to be the new wave, bro. Like, there's no reason moving forward to invest in a person. Why? They die. They say bad stuff. They can get tired. What do I gain from
You
that?
can keep this girl 16 for as long as you want.
Yeah. She's going to appeal to these groups of people forever. Mm-hmm. And they're already conditioning the youth. That's why it's really problematic with them having the phones and stuff. Because now you're allowing companies to take 5, 6, 7-year-olds and condition them for a new kind of media. So then when they do become of the age of, hey, mommy, I want this new media is already being pushed.
Our child is going to be so lame. I'm sorry in advance to you, girl, because I want you to be a girl. But, like, I want our child to grow up like we did. I don't want them to have access to social media until they're like 15, 16 years old. I know.
That's literally going to be an app for them to do schoolwork.
That's literally, it's impossible.
I mean, by the time our kid gets of age, there's going to be around a time where
because I haven't even conceived yet, y'all.
It's going to be a social media. It's going to be social media for school.
We haven't even planned to conceive yet. So like, it's going to be a completely different. I genuinely do not want our kid to be one of those screen iPad kids. But I will literally cry on a daily basis.
But that could also end up being something that happens in regards to being like, consider their development is down. Like people will assess that like, oh, you're not good at this, and this with these tools. Your development, I'm trying to tell you, that's going to be the real.
Nah,
our kid is probably going to be half Android.
This is not a conversation we need to get into during the show, but there are things that I plan on doing to, like, I've been thinking about this for a very long time. I don't want our kid to be a fucking weirdo, but and then also, like, I grew up very unprivileged, so naturally us giving our child more privilege would expose them to more social interactions. I feel like I'm socially awkward as fuck. People tell me I'm not all the time.
I mean, you're
I feel
you can be.
I feel awkward regularly when I talk to people. People feel like I'm awkward a little bit from the beginning, from the conception of the conversation. I'm anxious. I'm awkward. I'm thinking about what I have to say. I'm thinking about what you would react to what I have to say, whether or not I know you. Like, there are so many factors that come into what I'm going to say to you.
I just hit you with the 48 Laws of Power. That's how I knew I was crazy. When I read the 48 Laws of Power and I was like, oh, I already live like this. Like, my brain already operates like to make you think what I want you to think rather than being open with the open with
I want y'all
expression.
to know that, like, I'm with this crazy ass man.
Who, me?
Who, like, most people don't think that Geminis are attractive personality wise.
I'm trying to figure out where you're going with it. You don't think I'm attractive personality wise?
No, most people don't like Geminis. They think y'all are two-faced. Most people also don't like Sagittariuses. If you follow star signs, moon signs, whatever, my sign and Frederick's sign are definitely supposed to be together. Like, on the charts, like, we end up together. Sagittarius and Gemini are the only ones that end up together. I feel like because we're such specific assholes.
It's all fake, but I feel like I've read other things.
It's all fake, yes. But I'll show you most of the things. If you put your birth time in and my birth time in, we'll always get each other. Birth times, right? So, I feel it's because Sagittarius is a very specific type of asshole. And Gemini is a very specific type of asshole. And we're both very specific types of assholes. And the way we communicate with each other is genuinely special as fuck, because I feel, regardless of which, this is not a conversation we need to have on the camera, but regardless of how you feel, I feel like I communicate with you better than I've communicated it with anybody else before. What were we talking about originally?
I think we were talking about Megan, right?
Oh my God. Like, how did we get so far off of that?
Hey, that's what happens sometimes.
What the fuck?
Start falling into that wave.
Yeah. Okay, what's next? Was there a specific thing that you wanted to get out or discuss
No, that was the main
with
thing I wanted to
Meg.
talk about was just the fact what was going to be her impact.
Oh, can I tell you though? Meg, her boyfriend party,
And her ex.
yeah, her ex party was with Jada Kingdom after her. And then niggas was like, yo, how can you even get a girl with a fatter ass? Like, there was only like this many girls with a fatter ass, and Jada Kingdom was one of them, and he got her. There's another girl that apparently, allegedly, I'm not 100% sure, but him and Jada Kingdom broke up, and he got another big booty party. Where do you keep finding these women? They don't even have porn star butts. They don't have BBL butts. They have just massive natural asses. Where do you keep getting these women from?
He clearly got it.
That's
crazy. Got an app for
crazy.
him.
That's not. You don't find Jada Kingdom and Meg the Stallion on a fucking app. Shut up.
Clearly, he got it off the app.
I just want to know where you found these women from. What's the next topic?
All right. So did you hear about Matthew Stafford's wife?
I have no idea who that is.
So Matthew Stafford is the quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams. He recently just won a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And his wife, who a lot of people don't realize, she's been trying to start her own little media career for probably about a year or two now. Because one of the earlier things that came out, she said on her show that she had talked about how he had an issue connecting with a lot of the younger players. Because he was just so much older. When you're a quarterback, you play way longer than everybody else.
Yeah.
So he was saying he had an issue connected with the younger players, and she talked about that on her show. And she ended up getting a lot of blowback from that because it's like, as a player, you're sitting here thinking, okay, you're telling your wife some stuff like that. What else are you telling her? And what else is she going to be willing to expose? So she was recently on another person's podcast, and she said this.
Wait, so was he trying to casually date and you were all in?
Oh, yeah, girl. Anyways, long story short, it wasn't that cute of a relationship at first. I hated him. I loved him. I dated the backup to piss him off, which worked.
Yes.
He was like,
that'll do it.
He was the bad boy, too. Like, Matthew's so sweet and Southern gentleman and all that stuff. And the backup was the complete opposite.
Yeah.
Ooh, and it upset him. So they lived in the same dorm because athletes lived in the same dorm, and he would see my car there. And so at one point, he, like, waited and followed me out and got in my car and wouldn't get out.
Stop.
And he was
You're
like,
this is so hot.
I was like, this is amazing. It's working.
Yeah.
I was get out of my car, and he was like, she's not right for you. And I was like, what? You can't tell me that.
Bitch, your life is in
Wait,
danger.
so was he trying to casually?
That's what they be into, though.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah. You niggas that think that the stalker shit that y'all be, the women on the internet be saying is hot. First of all, you're going to jail. If you do that with me, you're going to fucking jail. And I live in Georgia. First of all, before you go to jail, you're getting shot in your ass, nigger.
Okay, so she ends up apologizing, right?
The fuck?
To the family because the backup quarterback started getting a lot of hell from what was going on. People, in their DMs and shit like that. Apparently, this wasn't a nigga she was talking about.
Oh, so she was talking about a completely different person.
Because she goes in, she says she ended up saying to the quarterback's family, she says, to this beautiful family, I am sorry for the media storm that happened last week that made its way into your lives. You had zero involvement in what I spoke about, and in fact, it was y'all relationship in college that I looked up to and wanted for me and Matthew. You were the couple that everyone thinks Matthew and I was. You were the UGA quarterback and cheerleader that met and never let go. I love y'all. So apparently the backup that everybody assumed it was, because that when you say backup, women say backup, they just mean anybody who's not starting. Backup usually just means the guy who's first to go in after the starter goes out. So the real backup quarterback, he's married to a black woman. They got 3 mixed kids. He trying to just live his life. This nigga didn't go to no NFL or nothing. He just trying to live his life and gets this like media storm of people. I saw somebody saying like he probably got the phone thrown at him. Like when they saw this. But I don't see what she said. She didn't even say they slept together. Like everybody put that on her. But all she said was she messed around. She dated him. Like I thought that was so weird. But I did want to say like shout out to like Matthew Stafford and just the overall white race, man. Y'all over there got y'all's to apologize? That's a chef's kiss right there, yo. No cap. So you want to shit on some white people now?
Yeah, sure.
So JJ Reddick just got announced to being the Lakers head coach. So that's a big deal for him. But anytime you have success, you know your past will come behind you. So there was a woman who just recently came out and said, I saw the person who called me, the only time I've ever been called the N-word, and I saw that person now getting a job for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Did he do it?
We don't know. Who cares?
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
What is that? What is that? He's not going to lose his job because he called her a nigga a decade ago.
Well,
or more than 2 decades
ago. I
ago.
want people to know.
I mean, I don't mind people knowing either. I actually heard of stories about JJ Reddick and being kind of like, especially because I grew up in Maryland. So Duke was basically our number one top enemy. So I'd always heard like racial stuff about him and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's just interesting to see like how anytime you get a little nugget of success, like anything out the woodwork comes. Do you feel like as a woman that something could happen to you and then you feel like you don't have to bring it up, but a stimulus can present itself that makes you now have to feel like you need to say something? Because this happened with Rocky.
I feel like if you go through something that you don't want to talk about, that's completely fair. You don't have to talk about that. But if it becomes a hot topic or something that is popular in the media, then you might feel compelled to talk about that because of how many other younger women are going to be affected by your story than you on your own specifically would. So, as somebody who is sharing their story as a victim, I never think that you're in the wrong, regardless of how long it takes you to tell your story as a victim. I think that you are giving us more education, and you're doing it's for the betterment of women in general.
I just feel like if he would have assaulted you, like, because remember, Duke had some crazy stories that go on. They had like a lacrosse case that ended up being found out that the girl had, well, they said that she lied, but they said that the girl lied about it. But just to see Duke in that kind of era in that place, it's believable. That's the part that's like, you kind of take a look at.
You mean like the university,
mm-hmm.
not
the culture of the environment.
Not the AMP member.
Yes.
Yeah, because to me, like
Duke Dennis, that's who you thought I was talking. You thought they were
I would think about the dark skinned nigga more than I think about the institution. Yeah.
No, it's funny. I wanted to say this too. Who do you think would win in a fight, Duke Dennis or Honcho?
Duke.
You think Duke would beat Honcho?
Okay, hold on. I forgot what
they bought the same size.
Low key, you want to know what happened in my brain just now? I thought Honcho was AMP. No.
Duke is AMP.
No, I thought Honcho.
Quavo?
Shh. What's his name? Phantom. I thought Honcho was Phantom.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the rapper.
I thought that it was Phantom against.
No, Phantom can't be none of them.
Yeah. Phantom. That's why I immediately said the other nigga name. Against who?
Duke versus Honcho.
Yeah. Duke is winning.
I don't know. Honcho younger.
Duke is the only nigga in AMP that's winning.
He's really not.
He is.
Y'all like him aesthetically, but he's not the biggest one out of all of them.
The rest of them niggas are either fat or short.
Yeah, but they make way more money in the contest.
Okay.
Space. That's all I'm saying.
That's not what the fuck we talking about. We're not talking
that.
about you glazing these niggas. We talking about who would win in a physical fight.
Yeah, of course. He's older than all of them.
Yes. Okay, that's what we're talking about.
Oh,
that's what you brought up.
I thought you were saying that he's the best looking one out of the group.
No, I'm talking about fighting wise.
I didn't say the best looking one. I thought you were just saying he was the most successful one out of the group.
No, I'm talking about who would win in a fight. It looks like Duke would win.
He old
over
enough to be
everybody
daddy.
else.
Yeah, he old enough to be all they daddy.
Yeah.
Them niggas early 20s. He almost 30.
And then I think I would give second to Phantom.
Well, yeah, he bigger than everybody. He bullied them niggas anyway.
Yeah, like I would give that to him second, definitely. But yeah.
All right, so let's finish up with this last little thing, man. Jonathan Majors.
Oh my God. So Hollywood Unlocked gave Jonathan Majors no, because
I'm just saying, anytime you gotta start your shit with Jason Lee, you know you fucked up.
What the fuck are we doing? So Hollywood Unlocked gave fuck. I forgot his name. I just had his name.
Jonathan Majors?
Okay.
You hate black men.
I'm going to start over again. Hollywood Unlocked gave Jonathan Majors a Perseverance Award. The woman who presented this award to him was a survivor of domestic violence abuse.
Iman Van Zandt?
So she thought that her giving him this award, which meant fucking nothing in the first place, because who the fuck is checking for Hollywood Unlocked fucking awards? Jason Lee, honestly, you have thought that you were way too important in the black hip-hop space for way too long, bitch, because you're gay and nobody's scared of like coming at you and telling you that your opinion is irrelevant.
It's not,
but
though.
your opinion is irrelevant because you're
What? So not just
you're not black.
Not his poor journalism.
Shh. Poor journalism, non-blackness. On top of that, you don't belong in our fucking category in the first goddamn place for you to have such a big platform where people give a fuck about what you talk about. Nobody gives a fuck. You shouldn't have that platform. You're stupid. Your critical thinking skills are lacking. Everything that you report on a motherfucker is wrong. You are a sorry excuse for journalists, and you're literally just a sorry excuse for a gay man who got fucking ahead because he's a gay man. That's it. And we like y'all better than we like the rest of us. I like a lot of gay men more than I like other black women. That's something I need to work on. And once we work on that, you fucking raggedy bitch, your platform is going downhill. That's what I have to say about that.
Well, there's a few things regarding Jason Lee. Like, I have a respect for anybody who can put their hands in the mud. Because
you have a respect for anybody who's a slimy motherfucker.
Because I understand being a slimy motherfucker is what kind of this kind of brand of media is about.
I just gotta let the regular people know that you respect this nigga off of terms where regular people would not like him off of. But you have different. It didn't spill anything for real. You have different more like morals over what's good or not.
Well, I understand that when it comes to being an analysis of the ethics of journalism, there's a difference between normal ethics and what you're doing with the pen. When you say the queen's dead and she's not, that's bad journalism, my nigga.
There's so much bad journalism that he's done.
He's done tons of it. But I also got to respect the fact that you would go back in the mud, put your hands. He reported. Remember the nigga I told you who I used to work for that killed his mom killed his girlfriend on Mother's Day? He reported about that.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Nigga I used to work with. He reported about that. That shit was all over Hollywood Unlocked. And then also the award that they gave out to Jonathan Majors, they gave that to Melissa Ford before when she got back from her accident.
Did you also know that the award that they gave him, a survivor of domestic abuse gave him that award?
Well, yes, I knew Iman Van Zandt was a survivor. That she's talked about it before.
Like what?
But to be fair, we
she
don't
was
have
like,
any.
Nah, you good, black man.
But we don't. To be fair, the only thing we have a quote unquote concrete proof of him is what we saw on the video.
Yeah.
Like everything else is just speculation.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't necessarily say he's a domestic, an offender of domestic violence when the white woman hasn't put that out. All she said was they got into conflicts. You have the text messages that say that don't go to the hospital and tell them what happened. But that could have been anything.
That shit is not great.
That could have been anything. But what gave it was too much for me is this nigga really went up there crying. He went up there in bawling tears. I'm talking about, I would have thought he was he was in a slave movie trying to ask Massa for some more greens. That ain't what he was doing. Mm-hmm. He was sitting there defeated. He felt like
I didn't see that part of the movie.
No, I'm talking about, you didn't see the clip when he went up there?
No, I don't remember that.
He went up there. He basically started crying when he got on stage. She gave him the award and all that good jazz. And then he basically did, went back. They left. Mm-hmm. And you see him doing his little run around with Megan Good. She looked nice, though, in that outfit.
First of all, Megan Good has looked nice.
I've never said she did. I'm just saying she looked
good
in that
for 3
outfit.
decades. Like, there's no, like, Megan Good is going to be playing the grandma in the movie, and we going to want to fuck the grandma. Like, that's how good she looked, period. It's a genetical thing with her. Hereditarily, that bitch is fine as fuck.
It's like she kind of like put all of her old genes into Jonathan. And so like she's kind of with him by default because it's like he looked like he's 45 years old and she looked like she's 26.
He probably took her oldness away, but I don't know.
Yeah, he absorbed the old genes for her.
Yeah.
So now
I'm still very mad Lovecraft Country was canceled.
You thought that was going to get another season?
I didn't.
It was literally a show about a white author and had niggas all in it.
And they were whooping the white people's ass.
Yeah, like that shit wasn't going to get anything else unless that motherfucker was a #1 in China.
Lovecraft Country was one of the shows that like my Afrofuturism brain wanted to let happen in real life so bad.
Do we think that he can we've just seen the Will Smith situation kind of basically take a good turn. According, he's had like 5 offers.
Yeah, nobody gave a fuck about Will Smith smacking that fucking coon bitch Chris Rock. When it comes to black people caring about what the fuck black people have going on, we know. We have known that Chris Rock has been a coon who has been catering to white comedy for mad fucking long. So when Will Smith smacked him across the fucking face, regardless of what it was for, but it happened to be for the defense of a black woman, then nobody give a fuck. Which is why Bad Boys 4 went fucking triple, quadruple fucking platinum.
So I know you went full Negro on there. No Negroes cared. I agree. White people care.
It doesn't matter.
But can I explain why? Can I explain why it matters? Can I just
hold
explain
on.
why?
Really
Don't
quick.
Pull me closer
really,
to you. You're
no,
going to be away from your mic.
No. Because Negroes didn't care because white people initially didn't care enough. These niggas don't give a fuck about what the fuck we do.
White people
don't give a fuck about it before we give a fuck about it.
White people were literally crying the day when they saw that man get slapped.
Yeah, because they cared about Chris Rock, not Will Smith.
But I'm saying they cared about what he did. That's what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is,
I think our argument is, you think white people cared about what happened to Chris Rock? And I'm specifically negating those white people and only taking into consideration the white and black people who felt good when they saw Chris Rock get smacked.
And what I'm saying is,
I felt good. I was like, smack this nigger bitch.
And what I'm saying is that Will Smith, his rise back to grace is going to be similar to Jonathan Majors going to have to do. Like, he's going to have to massage a lot of relationships. I very vehemently wrong with you, because Will Smith barely had to do anything to get back into the good graces of the black people. That's debatable.
Who is the other person you're comparing him to?
Jonathan. Why do you keep forgetting this man's name? You hate black men.
No.
You forgot Folio's name?
Jonathan Majors has literally... Shh. The only thing that Jonathan Majors has been in that I give a fuck about is Lovecraft Country. Jonathan Majors has not...
You like Creed 3?
No. That's not my type of shit. You know, my type of shit, I like magic shit. I like supernatural shit. So... Lovecraft Country.
He was king.
I was literally like, my heart was pounding out of my chest when I was watching that show. It's something that as far as like I did my term paper because I got a degree in Africana Studies on Afrofuturism, and when it comes to Afrofuturism, Lovecraft Country is a very perfect example of Afrofuturism, of what black people think that African fiction would look like if it were not for the intervention of white people in things of this nature. So that's why I enjoyed it so much, because Afrofuturism was something that I enjoyed a lot, and it's something that I chose to write my senior term paper on. I wrote about musicians. I wrote about Bootsy Collins. I wrote about Missy Elliott. I wrote about Busta Rhymes. Like, there was, like, I connected it from way back in the day till now, and I connected how important black music and black music that falls outside of the norm is for black people, because it makes us think differently and it gives us a different imagination of what's possible for us. Missy Elliott, Busta Rhymes, Andre 3000 are very, very important.
Baby, I greatly appreciate that phenomenal information that you provided for. But what do you think about him? Do you think that there is a way that Jonathan Majors will get back into the good graces of white America? Because that's who he has to get in the good graces with.
I don't give a fuck. No, he's not. Because you're a nigger. You're a nigger monkey who has a wide nigger nose and big nigger lips. And you got some acting courses from another place. But then, unfortunately, you put your hands on a white bitch. So your black nigger ass is not going to be valuable to anybody past that ever again. And that is the choice that you made as an actor to be seen reputable in white spaces instead of black. You could have been in Tyler Perry fucking films, which we make fun of, but you wouldn't have gotten the Perseverance Award at Hollywood Unlocked, because there wouldn't have been nothing for you to persevere, because we would have been seeing it with you 10 toes, nigga. 10 toes!
I'm trying to figure out. So last week, when I made fun of all of the niggas on the West Coast, and I was calling them niggers and all that other stuff, it was a problem with you last week.
Okay, well, why? Why were you calling them that? And why did you think that Drake deserves to be called more of a rap nigga as a Canadian half white man than niggas who literally went through the shit in Compton who are fully black men? Why?
So that second part, you're convoluting something we said when we were back on the couch.
You convolute shit on a regular basis, so now I'm doing it. Continue and answer the fucking question. Answer the convoluted ass question, because I'm tired of answering convoluted questions myself, but then you want answered fucking clear. No, answer the convoluted bullshit. Go ahead.
Drake, that nigga, is the first answer to that. And then
it doesn't make any sense. Continue.
When I was using nigger, I was using it as an expression of what racist white people and Latinos.
Okay, and then compare that to what I was just saying to just now.
I was about to tell you. Mm-hmm. I'm using what racist white people and racist Hispanics were saying in their thought process to
compared to what I was saying. What was I saying?
What are you talking about?
Compared to what I was saying. I want you to tie in what I was saying so that it can be relevant.
What you were saying, you were calling Jonathan Majors a nigger and talking about his lips and nostrils, and I just called the box nigga. Oh, look at this familiar nigger. Shit. But you told me don't do it.
It's the same shit.
It is, but you told me don't do it last week. That's the only reason I brought it up. Because you said, hey, why do you have to call them that? Why do you have to do that? And I'm like, because that's what the white people are thinking. That's what you thought.
Okay, now I change my opinion. That's what I think.
But why does he get that? He didn't even,
because he's way more talented.
But he didn't slap a
he
white.
Didn't do
he didn't
nothing.
beat up a black woman.
Like
you discussed him like he beat up Megan
Jonathan
Good.
Majors versus who are we talking about again?
Well, I was just talking about what you were saying.
Who are you talking about again? Versus Jonathan Majors?
Well, it wasn't about.
Who are you talking about? That's what I'm asking you.
Let me finish.
You are not answering my question.
Because the answer to because you're asking a bad question to what I did.
I forgot who I was comparing Jonathan
listen,
to.
You weren't comparing him to anybody. We were talking about
that's
your
all I
use
wanted
of
to,
nigger towards him.
That's all I wanted to.
And my use.
Because I thought I was comparing him to a specific person.
No,
but
you shamed me last week for calling other black men niggers.
Yeah,
in relation to what white people were
when
thinking.
You bring up shit that I said last week. I don't fucking even remember what the fuck I had for lunch. What the fuck did I have for lunch? You bringing up shit from last week, and I don't even fucking remember what the fuck I said last week.
I'm just saying, man. You hate black men.
I do.
Life is a labor of love, so let's keep building moments together. And remember, your job is not your family. And the only thing you should exploit is these corporations. Let's talk F&F TV. We out of here.
Follow us on all the social media platforms at talk.fnf.tv. We completely appreciate and like you subscribing. We love you guys so much. And bye.